Hello everybody, my name is Rayle Entair, and welcome to episode 12 of EVE Online, The Prelude, a series where I discuss most things tutorial. As always, let's start off with my skills that I've been training. I have Sharpshooter, level 3, which currently gives me a 15% bonus to weapon turret optimal range. Not phenomenal, but still quite useful. I've also got weapon upgrades to level 3, which will lower the CPU requirements of my weapons and set upgrades by 15% likewise. And I am, at the moment, training level 4 of weapon upgrades. With that out of the way, I also have 22 million ISK due to some mining. I've also purchased a blueprint for the Hornet drone Tech 1, and made a fair number of them as well. I've also gone off and mined some more minerals just in case I need to make something else or want to. I've also made more ammunition here. And finally, I think we're going to jump into Advanced Military with Gonçalves Alvarez. Welcome, Rayle Entair. I've been told to expect you. You're here to learn about the more advanced aspects of war, yes? If so, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. Your first assignment would be a basic one, something to ease you back into warfare, if it's been a while since you took the combat tutorial. A local businessman and close friend of mine is being blackmailed by a pirate cartel that frequents the system. Apparently my voice just vanished there. Oh well. I'm concerned about him meeting with them to pay the ransom, and I want to be sure of his safety. If you want to demonstrate you're ready for the trials ahead, perhaps you could take my friend's place and simply kill the pirates trying to blackmail him instead? That sounds fine by me. This is a very simple go off and kill people mission. Clear area of hostiles. We get propulsion jamming, but I already have that skill book and I've actually trained it up, so I will probably just sell that. 3 hours? Okay, well, this is going to be really simple, I suspect. Alright. Onwards. Well, that was an incredibly easy mission. Complete. Good work out there, Rayle Entair. My friend is indebted to you. He wanted to pass along the ransom money he'd already accumulated as a show of thanks, so take it and put it to use. You're clearly ready for bigger things, I'm thinking. So let me know when you're ready to learn more, alright? Well, absolutely. But first, let me do some selling and explaining. Oh, whoops, not that button. This button. I have 2 new modules. One, I have a Safe Swepifier Mark 1, or commonly known as a web. Simply put, it will lower the enemy's ship's speed by about half when activated. I also have a slightly better afterburner. And by slightly, I mean very slightly. It's only like 8% better for max velocity bonus. So, not a lot, but hopefully something. And now I need to sell stuff. This should be the easiest bit though. Stack all of it. Yeah, there's not much to sell here. I love me some of them tripped power thingies, circuits, because those are the best. Just sell that real quick. I don't care about propulsion jamming at all because I already have it trained. Sell this, a little bit of money. Sell this, a little bit of money. And sell this, a lot of money. Nice. Not quite up to the 23 million mark, but that's fine. Next mission, good sir. Alright. Angel of Mercy. Now here's a fun one. Okay. Your next assignment I have for you may seem a little strange, but I think you'll learn something important in the process. We've discovered the headquarters of the pirate group you just dispatched in your last mission. There are a few members of their little cartel remaining who may use this headquarters to rebuild their group. We must not allow this to happen. I'm about to give you a frigate loaded with proximity-based explosive charges. Your job is to fly into their headquarters when this... I'm terrible at speaking. Alright, let's try that again. I'm about to give you a frigate loaded with proximity-based explosive charges. Your job is to fly it into their headquarters. When they see that you're not just some average combat pilot, that is, that you're a capsuleer with access to clones, they'll get the message and disband. If the explosion doesn't kill them first. If you've never lost a ship before, don't worry. Once the frigate explodes, you'll find yourself in your capsule. As soon as that's happened, just get the hell out of there. Your work will be done at that point. We are now becoming a suicide bomber. Alright. Fly the frigate your agent gave you into the pirate base. Once the explosive charges inside have been set off, your assignment will be complete. I accept. Now, let's have some fun, shall we? First of all, let me assemble the ship here. There it is, just a normal Atron with no name. Assemble. Make active. It just has nothing on. That's fine. It doesn't need to have anything on it. Now, what's the mission reward for this thing exactly? Alright, total we're looking at about 140,000 ISK. Let's see if we can't make that better. I'm going to teach you the delicate art of insurance fraud. I will now insure my ship, the unnamed Atron. The selected item will be insured while in your possession for the duration of the contract. Repackaging the item will void the contract. The contract will be considered void if the item or ship is destroyed while being in the possession of somebody else, or while the pilot is being actively pursued by Concord. Do you accept the above terms? Yes, I do. I'm going to give it the maximum payday, Platinum. So I spend 12,000 ISK, and if this ship blows up, I receive 40,000 ISK. So I get a net gain of roughly 30,000 extra ISK from this thing alone. There we go. I'll close it off, and you can see here I have a new mail, and I spent some money. Let's read that, shall we? What does it say? Congratulations on the insurance of your ship. A wise choice indeed. This letter is to confirm that we have issued an insurance contract for your ship, Rayle Entair's Atron, at a level of 100%. Nice. I'll delete that. So now, let's undock and blow this thing up so I get a boatload of monies. Well, that was fun. Let's check my mail then, shall we? Oh, what's this? Your friendly insurance company has transferred 39,000 ISK into your account for the recent loss of your ship. Thank you for that. Ah, glorious insurance fraud. I love it. Hey, Gustavo. Mission done. Complete. Good work out there. Hopefully you've seen for yourself that losing a ship isn't the end of the world. Certainly not like it is for people without clones. You Capsuleers have a saying though, don't fly what you can't afford to lose. There's definitely some wisdom to it. If you stick to cheap, expendable ships to begin with, you'll be able to learn without risking everything you own. And as a Capsuleer, starting out, you'll want to keep the costs of learning as low as possible. Understand? Yes sir, next mission please. Actually, before we do that, how about we actually get back into our ship? Let's get back into the Rook here. Much better, alright. Right, you were saying something about a warp? Indeed. I see civilian warp disruptor. Alrighty. This is an awfully big text box. Alrighty. Your undivided attention. Ah, you're back. You should get yourself a new ship if you haven't already. Next up, you're going to be doing some in-the-field learning about interdiction, in particular about warp disruption. Warp disruption modules can be fitted to your ship in the medium power slot. When activated on another target vessel, they disable that ship's warp drive and thus stop it from escaping. Capsuleers commonly refer to this as tackling. As you can probably tell, the ability is immensely useful. Much of Capsuleer versus Capsuleer combat begins with interdiction. There are limitations, however. You should keep in mind that the first is disruption range. Warp disruptors only work out for a certain range, and if your prey slips outside of that, you will need to close the ground quickly before they can enter warp and reactivate the disruptor to pin them back down. The second limitation is disruption strength. A single warp disruptor provides 1 unit or point of disruption strength, as you Capsuleers like to call it. This becomes important when you are chasing prey that has warp core stabilizers fitted, in order to help them avoid being pinned down while traveling low security space. Many pilots will fit these modules if they have there's a break there. If they have one of those fitted, then you will need to use 2 warp disruptors to deactivate their warp drives. If you already have 2 fitted, if they have 2, then you'll need 3, and so on and so on. Okay, let me explain that a bit better, shall we? Let's close this out here. Every ship, by default here, has a warp strength of 0. If your warp strength is 0, then you can warp. Now, some ships, i.e. my Venture here, have a special trait that gives +2 to warp core strength, which means enemies need to have 2 disruptors to, stop you. Now, there are actually 2 types of this. Let me bring it up here. So if we go to ship equipment, electronic warfare, warp jammers. There are 2 types of, commonly used warp disruptors here. You have the disruptor proper and the scrambler. The warp disruptor has a further range and a warp scramble strength of 1. The actual scrambler has a much shorter range but a strength of 2. Let's make a hypothetical situation here. If someone's trying to kill my Venture, they either need 3 warp disruptors or a single warp scrambler and something else, because my ship has a bonus of 2, meaning that this 2 right here would bring my strength down to 0, meaning I can still warp, and then they have to use another warp disruptor or scrambler in order to actually stop me from warping away. And like the text box there said, there are also some modules that can help you out here called warp... what were they? Warp core stabilizers here. Let's check this out, shall we? This lowers your scanning, like your actual targeting range and target speed by half, but it gives you, or rather gives the enemy, a -1 to their scramble strength. So that's actually fairly nice. This will pretty much nullify well, like I said, common warp disruptors there. So that's really shiny. So again, if they want to, say you have a strength of 0 like my Atron here, they would need 2 warp disruptors if I had 1 stabilizer, and so on and so forth. So again, these are really good, let me phrase that. The warp disruptors and warp scramblers are, again, some of the most used PvP arsenal tools in the game, because if an enemy can fly away from you, well then that's that. You can just fly away from you. And you want to stop that if you want to get the kill. So we're going to learn about this a bit more here, but first I need to make room. Do I have room? I do have room, never mind then. Gosavo, please give me that. Alright, so, objective. Find the fleeing pirate and activate your civilian warp disruptor on him, preventing an escape. You are authorized to kill any escort vessels that you see, but not the primary targets. Okay. We'll get about 80,000 ISK, and some more information here which I'm not going to read because that's a lot of text, and it just tells you what I've already said. I accept. I have 2 hours. Very well. Okay. So let's get some information on this civilian warp disruptor, huh? Let's find it first. There it is. It has a range of 20 kilometers. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. Now, it actually has no strength, hilariously enough. This is because it's a civilian module that only works for this mission. So, yeah. That's fine, though. We will plug it in. Thankfully, I have enough power grid and CPU to fit it, and that last high slot. So we're good to go. Let us undock and have some fun with interdiction maneuvers, shall we? There's Mr. Pirate in question. You can actually hit him from about here. Yeah, this thing has a range of 20 kilometers, nearly in range. Bam. Hey, alright, please don't shoot me, I'll leave, just let me go. Nice. That was literally the entire mission, was to do just that. Just to point out that, hey, we can scramble his warp disruption stuff. I don't know. Weird mission, but hey. This is just to demonstrate the fact that we have the ability to stop someone from warping away. Alright, well, let's get out of here then, shall we? Let's just dock back at base here. Mission complete, Gosavo. We know how to use warp disruptors. Complete. Please? A friend in need. Nicely done, Rayle Entair. It looks like our pirate friends got the message loud and clear. Hopefully you understand the basics of warp disruption now. There's more to it, of course, but regardless of how each different type of module works, the principle is always the same. Pin them down and keep them there. Next up, I want to show you something a little more on the defensive end of things. Let me know when you're ready for the next assignment. Well, I'll read it for sure. Alrighty. We've got another assignment for you, Rayle Entair. Fairly straightforward, I think, but something I'm sure you can learn a lot from all the same. We've received a distress call from another agent nearby. His party was attacked by some pirates, and he's the only survivor. They left him for dead after disabling most of his ship's basic functions. We need you to fly out there and repair his ship so he can continue on to safety. For this task, you'll be using remote armor repair modules. As you can probably tell from the name, they allow you to remotely repair an allied vessel's armor. Like I said, a fairly simple mission, but it's important for you to understand that you're capable of more than just violence. It seems to be something your kind forgets very easily. So consider this a mission this mission a friendly preemptive reminder. Alright. And here we get the small armor repairer, which, well, simply put, will repair an ally's armor. Like he says, this one's very straightforward. It has a range of 4,000 meters, activates every 5 seconds at a repair rate of 40 armor per unit, or cycle rather. Sure thing, let's accept it. Close. And we will replace our salvager with it. Where is this thing? There it is. Oh, I don't have enough power grid for it. Ah, I can get rid of this. Not enough, though? Let's remove the armor repairer then, because we won't be needing that for this mission. There we go. Alrighty then. Let us get out there, warp away, and save this guy, shall we? Alrighty, over there is the damaged vessel in question. Definitely a weird looking ship, but who am I to judge, right? Let's lock him up in order to use the healing on him. 4,000 meter range. I'll slow down a bit. There we go. Transmission from damaged vessel. Basic systems are operational once again. We have functional warp drives. Thank you, pilot. I owe you one. I'm getting out of here. Oh, very well. And he warps away. And that's logistics for you in a nutshell. Repairing other people and giving them bonuses. I really like it personally. If I ever go into PvP, I will likely be a logistics ship because I really enjoy it. So, let's head on back to base and tell Gustavo the good news. There it is. Alrighty, your buddy is free and clear, fully repaired. Complete mission. Good work out there. Our agent reported a safe journey back home. I hope you've come to learn something in the process too. I arranged for a skill book to be made available to you as a reward. If you're interested in the use of remote armor repair modules, then you'll want to train up eventually. Indeed I will, truthfully. The Stand. Ooh. This one will have to wait till next time, I believe. So, until then, viewers, this has been Rayle Entair, signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.